Environmental ethics is the discipline and philosophy that studies the moral relationship of human beings to and the value of moral status to the environment and its non-human contents, basically meaning the moral rights and wrongs of dealing with the environment and what actions are deemed acceptable. Do humans have the right to control nature and wipe out entire species? This is just one of the many questions asked when dealing with environmental issues. Humans share a close relationship to the environment, which is often overlooked and taken for granted. People do not realize how much reliance our society has on nature. Natural resources from the environment is what keeps some countries going and allows economies to prosper. It is obvious that the environment is a huge part of our lives, and this is why environmental ethics is such a controversial topic.
As well, there are organizations and groups who believe the future of mankind is at risk. They believe mankind is at risk due to the increasing harm we are causing the environment. A main non-profit organization is the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome brings together scientists, economists, businessmen, international high civil servants, and heads of states and former heads of states. The goal of this organization is to try and get individuals like you and me to work together and begin fixing the environment. The United Nations Environment Program is also a major scientific group, and they work to collect evidence for climate change, as well create options for the mitigation of climate change effects. The front man for climate change is Al Gore. Al Gore is an ex-Vice President of the United States and more recently has played a large role in a documentary called The Inconvenient Truth. The Inconvenient Truth has been widely criticized for the use of junk science. Junk science is an ethical issue that businesses use in order to sway the public's opinion. Junk science is faulty scientific data and analysis used to advance special interests and hidden agendas. Some examples of special interests would be the media to create sensational headlines and programming in order to increase ratings. Businesses also use junk science to badmouth their competitors' product and make bogus claims about their own product. Politicians are notorious for using junk science to carry favor with special interest groups, to be politically correct, and to advance their own personal political beliefs.
There are many ethical issues that are involved when businesses make corporate decisions to destroy habitats in order to make room for new factories. One of these issues is animal rights. This is a decision that is legal in some ways but highly unethical because by destroying these habitats, it is ultimately destroying the lives of animals that live there. This is the concern of animal rights because businesses do not take the needs of animals into consideration. It is the business's corporate social responsibility to take care of the environment and the animals that live there in some way, and by clear-cutting forests and wiping out habitats, they are not holding up their end of the bargain. Businesses are not taking into account the social consequences of their actions. Animals can be considered just as equal to humans. Humans are, of course, primates, mammals, vertebrates, and so forth, so all these categories can fall under the animal categories. It can be said that scientifically, humans are animals in every sense of the word. This means that animals deserve equal rights as well. This is an ongoing moral battle that we have placed under the situational ethics category because of the conduct and behavior influenced by the needs and wants of the business in a particular situation. In this case, the situation would be to improve profits by increasing the amount of factories to speed up production. But with this comes the question of animal rights and if these animals are given other alternatives to live. It is the business that must make substitutes for the habitats they destroy, and sadly in most cases they do not.
The idea of environmental ethics started to grow around 1970. Scientists started urging the public to consider the different aspects of environmental problems, such as the amount of gas we use and the pollution that we put into the air around us. In 1970, the first Earth Day took place. Earth Day was a day created to try and inspire awareness for the Earth's natural environment. The emergence of the environmental ethics issue is no doubt due to the increased amount of awareness in the 1960s of the effects that technology, industry, economic expansion, and population growth were having on the environment. The development of the awareness was also due to philosophers and scientists publishing books on how the widespread use of chemical pesticides is posing a serious threat not only to the destruction of wildlife, but a threat to human life as well. Today this problem is only getting worse, and is something that must be dealt with. Today the world has come together and inspired events such as Earth Hour, where the world turns out their lights as an attempt to inspire people to try and save the world from the state that it is falling into. We as human beings must join together to make this change happen. Earth Hour is now the biggest environmental movement in history to date, and it only continues to grow. Environmentalism is generally the same idea as environmental ethics. However, environmentalism is aimed towards the environment and wildlife, and are concerns of a non-human element. Environmentalism strives for the preservation, restoration, and overall improvement of our natural environment, for the environment itself, but also the wildlife that calls it home. Environmentalists' overall main goal is to bring a stop to pollution, but that is not all. Environmentalists try very hard to protect wildlife and make sure that they have a safe future, whether it be protection from pollution or even us as human beings. Pollution is constantly affecting our environments negatively, destroying animals' natural habitats, and with it, vital ecosystems that bring a balance to our everyday lives. Today we see thousands of species at risk of extinction. Every species plays a role in an ecosystem. If they no longer exist, it's like a break in the chain. The biggest cause behind the loss of more than 80% of all the listed species at risk in Canada is habitat loss or destruction. Environmentalists have done their best to try and stop such things as that. There's a ban on shark finning in almost every part of the world, because there are so little sharks due to that reason. It is estimated that 100 million sharks are killed annually for their fins. These fishermen will cut off the sharks' fins and throw them back in the ocean to die. It is estimated that 15,000 sharks are killed every 2 hours. 1 pound of shark fin can sell for $300 or more. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Each country with a coastline is responsible for laws and regulations pertaining fishing in their waters. Environmentalists advocate the sustainable management of resources and the protection of the natural environment through changes in public policy and individual behavior.
Hi, I'm Taylor Chick, and I chose this topic because I feel teens have forgot about the environment and the impact that it has. Teens are major contributors to the pollution that occurs, so we're hoping that this video can relate to you, and you can see the concerns that pertain to our environment.
Hi, I'm Blair Cuthbert. This particular topic is something that interests me and something I can relate to. I personally care about how the animals are treated and how their habitats are maintained. We as humans are responsible for the environment and the wildlife around us. It is our job to preserve the environments and keep the wildlife healthy and present.
Hello there, I'm Christopher Udoff. I chose this topic because I have recently heard a lot about it on the news and I was interested to learn more about it.